So simultaneous to the checkpoint blockades in the morning, we're also doing a series of clusterfuck blockades where we're going to try to blockade all the major ingress points into the city.
Generally speaking, Nazis will only actually attack people if they strongly outnumber them, because Nazis are essentially cowards. But yeah, throat punching is probably a good thing.
I mean, we have a plan for how to shut down a metro.
It takes 15 seconds, and everyone can leave, because literally, it can't go anywhere at that point. It's anchored, right? And you can use a really thin chain, you can use a heavy chain, a really thin chain, that would require like a bolt cutter to undo. Basically, it would shut down that line.
That was undercover sound about hooking chains up to disrupt and stop Washington's metro rail line. This is part 2 of our undercover investigation into the dark, seedy underworld of Disrupt J20, a group that says openly they want to shut down the inauguration, going well beyond peaceful civil disobedience.
Please lock the doors. Please lock the doors. Lock him. Don't let them in.
Hey, I just want to say one thing to the person on the phone.
Can you please move
Bob
on
Kramer
my way?
sends his regards.
The next 4 years, we are going to fight Trump and everything he stands for with no quarter asked, no quarter given, no mercy of any kind.
Throw them all under the bus. I mean, just fuck it up. I like the idea of the goal being that they have to pull the inauguration inside.
Be prepared to help make the inauguration a giant clusterfuck.
No fear, immigrants are welcome here.
Our investigation into the Trump inauguration protests took us to dozens and dozens of meetings from coast to coast over the course of a few months. Groups like Socialist Alternative, League of Conservation Voters, Workers' World Party, Smash Racism DC, Anti-Fascist Coalition, all these groups operating under the umbrella of Disrupt J20, some planning peaceful activities, some planning violent and illegal criminal activities.
A significant number of us, up to a dozen that we've talked to so far at least, expressed interest in arrestable action, civil disobedience. But the agreement that we left Sunday on was we're not going to do that unless, as you pointed out, it's actually effective. We're not just looking to get a notch to say we got arrested. We want to do it so we can have an impact.
It was at one of these meetings that we met Legba Carafor, a Disrupt J20 organizer.
So simultaneous to the checkpoint blockades in the morning, we're also doing a series of clusterfuck blockades where we're going to try to blockade all the major ingress points into the city, which include shutting down major bridges and highway access points, as well as shutting down metro rail. So to do that, we're going to try to break into several teams, kind of like the checkpoints. So if you're interested in doing that, we don't think these are going to be necessarily arrestable actions, but there is a possibility you could be, so keep that in mind if you want to participate.
Last week, Carafor spoke to the Washington Examiner and gave them an outline of the plans to try to block access to the city. Our infiltration efforts uncovered the details in potentially criminal plots.
So we figured out the trains pull up, the doors open. One person's going to walk one end of the train to the bench, and on the other end of the train into the car, walk around the corner, done. It takes 15 seconds, and everyone can leave, because literally, it can't go anywhere at that point. It's anchored, right? And you can use a really thin chain, you can use a heavy chain, a really thin chain, that would require like a bolt cutter to undo. Basically, it would shut down that line the entire way. So the idea was to hit Metro Center, Gallery Place, and Waltham Plaza. They're all close enough to walk to, and that's every single line in the city.
Disabling trains constitutes an act of terrorism under 18 United States Code 1992. Quote, shall be fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 20 years or both, and if the offense results in the death of any person, shall be imprisoned for any term of years or for life or subject to death. So after we received this information, we turned it over to the FBI, Secret Service, and the D.C. Metro Police.
And we were able to find evidence that these individuals were hoping to shut down all Metro train transit around the Washington, D.C. area around inauguration.
These details weren't mentioned by Carafor to the Examiner, and our journalist discovered other details that he neglected to make public.
So on the direct action, we had talked about sort of a rotating blockade. The goal is to delay, disrupt, shut down a checkpoint. We have been assigned a checkpoint as a group. Our checkpoint is at 1st and D. So everybody know where that is?
Here it sounds like they are encouraging the demonstrators to pay homeless people to help stop traffic.
So we want to encourage you all to give to the poor and the homeless. Go right down to 2nd and D. Help us to block the vehicle traffic and the pedestrian traffic going to Inauguration. And set up tables, food, give outs, whatever, right there near 2nd and D, a block in either direction, and help to block traffic.
Our journalist also infiltrated several groups operating under the main umbrella of Disrupt J20, like the Industrial Workers of the World, a quasi-socialist group, the Metropolitan Anarchist Coordinating Council, and Refuse Fascism.
Our goal is to continue to help shut down the city and make Inauguration a giant clusterfuck that day. So be prepared to help make the Inauguration a giant clusterfuck. So we're not going to publicly announce the route, but we are planning a route that will help us jam up the works of the city. Lots of marching against traffic on one-way streets, stuff like that.
Are you with NAF?
I guess, yeah. I mean, I've been just helping. So I helping coordinate the thing tomorrow, and then also the rides down to DC. So I guess I've just been doing stuff around J20. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah. Well, so essentially what I mentioned was the call in DC was that there's a bridge near this I guess park or something where people do yoga training usually in the mornings, and so the idea would be that maybe a couple of autonomous affinity groups are out there pretending to do yoga or just coordinated in some way. Someone pretends to do yoga. I know that's part of the way that they've imagined it. And eventually the groups converge on the bridge, take the bridge, and then begin to lead a march toward the center of the town. So that's essential. I don't know what bridge, I don't know what part of the city. I can call my comrade right now and ask him more detail.
They're going to get bigger in size, and they're going to get more and more disruptive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and the idea being you start with a few hundred, then you get a few thousand, then you get so many they spill into the streets, then, it's then they're disrupting business as usual, then everybody goes, wow, that's what's happening, I got to be there too, millions, you know what I mean? Literally, it snowballs, okay? Even that you could say. So we're going to get bigger each night.
We do have a lot of ideas for plans, and ultimately we just need people to be able to execute them. One of the things that we're also talking about doing is shutting down the metro. That's going to require some teamwork, probably a rehearsal maybe. But it's possible, and we can do it. We have these plans more or less laid out. We just need people to kind of execute them. We have a plan for how to shut down a metro. We have a plan for how to barricade a bridge. We have all these plans. We just don't have the people yet. So if you're willing to be those people, we're definitely down to have you.
These groups would be nothing without their volunteers. We also spoke to the professional protesters who make these plans a reality.
Do you guys just do this on your own too?
Yeah.
Awesome.
We've been traveling the country since he's been traveling since the RNC, I've been traveling since the DNC.
Well, I don't think I got your last name there.
Oh, I'd rather not give my last name, just K.
Okay.
K.
Okay, good.
We were all at Standing Rock. The two of us were there for over 3 months. It's going to be a fucking shit show of a great time.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I've been looking forward to it. If this is gonna happen, then you may as well just fucking have a party.
Throw them all under the bus. Just fuck it up. I like the idea of the goal being that they have to pull the inauguration inside.
And it seems like these guys are just looking for a fight.
When do we get to the throat punching? That's what Sure. So this is another thing is that generally speaking, Nazis will only actually attack people if they strongly outnumber them, because Nazis are essentially cowards. If it's 3 of them and a homeless guy, they're going to beat him up. If it's 1 of them and 6 other people, they're going to run the fuck away. But yeah, throat punching is probably a good thing.
So in terms of more of this, generally, actually how to talk to them, say, you and a group encounter a group of Nazis, and they're having a rally or being like very loud with their views, how should you engage them?
I would say that's where you do the throat punching. I'm going to be honest.
Okay.
Peaceful protesting is protected under the First Amendment, but these activities seem to be anything but peaceful. After we released our first investigation, Disrupt J20 put out a press release saying that they were just playing along and counter-stinging us. But that did not appear to be true based on the mountain of emails and follow-up video that we have released. It'll be interesting to see what they say next. Although again, we advise them, don't lie to the FBI.